For most of medical history, getting better meant taking a simple pill. But what happens when the diseases we face are way more complex? What if they're literally written into our DNA? Well, today, we're diving into a revolution in medicine that goes way, way beyond the pill. So let's jump right in. Okay, so look at this. On the left, you've got something we all recognize, a traditional drug. It's a small, simple molecule. For decades, these have been the workhorses of medicine. But on the right, whoa, that's the new frontier. That's a biologic drug. It's this massive, complicated protein. And honestly, it's a total game changer. That difference right there, between those two images, that's the story we're exploring today. So you've got to ask, why the big shift? I mean, traditional pills work great for a lot of things, but they have their limits. And as we face more and more genetic and really complex diseases, it's become clear we need a totally new playbook. A huge part of this story starts with the Human Genome Project. Once we mapped our own DNA, it was like a light bulb went off. We realized so many diseases aren't just a simple chemical imbalance. No, they're caused by faulty proteins or enzymes in our bodies that just aren't doing their job right. And here's the problem. You can't fix a massive, complex protein problem with a tiny, simple chemical. That's like trying to repair a crack in a skyscraper with a paperclip. It's just not going to work. And that brings us to the solution. This is where we meet the heroes of our story, a whole new class of drugs that aren't cooked up in a chemistry lab. Instead, they're engineered from actual living systems. They're called biologics. So what in the world is a biologic, really? Well, simply put, they're medicines made from living things, like cells. You got to think of them less like chemicals and more like tiny, highly engineered biological machines. They're usually these enormous protein molecules. I mean, hundreds of times bigger than a pill like aspirin. And it's that incredible size and complexity that gives them their amazing power. And I guarantee you've heard of these before, even if you didn't know what they were. Human insulin? That's a biologic. It's an absolute lifesaver for people with diabetes. Or erythropoietin, which helps cancer patients fight anemia by telling their bodies to make more red blood cells. Then there are interferons, which can literally crank up your immune system to fight off things like cancer or multiple sclerosis. See, these aren't just drugs, they're targeted biological tools. Okay, now we get to one of the most powerful types of biologics out there, monoclonal antibodies, or as you'll see them called, mAbs. This quote right here, it really nails why they're so incredible. They are engineered to bind to one and only one specific target on a cell. Just one. That amazing specificity basically turns them into biological homing missiles. And making these things, it is not simple. This isn't just mixing a few chemicals in a beaker. It's this incredibly sophisticated process where scientists fuse antibody-making cells with immortal cancer cells. That mashup creates these tiny little factories called hybridomas that can just pump out a nearly endless supply of one single perfect antibody. It's a stunning piece of bioengineering, and all that complexity is why these drugs can be so difficult and, so expensive to make. But the results, they are absolutely astounding. A drug like Humira can hunt down and block the exact molecule that causes the painful inflammation in rheumatoid arthritis. And maybe even crazier, Herceptin can seek out and latch on to a very specific receptor that's found all over certain breast cancer cells, essentially flagging them for destruction by the immune system. It's the definition of precision medicine. But there's a catch, and it's a really big one. For all their amazing power and precision, these incredible biologic drugs have one massive Achilles heel. They are unbelievably fragile. I mean, think about a normal pill. Its journey through your body is pretty straightforward, right? You swallow it, it's tough enough to survive your stomach acid, and then it gets absorbed into your bloodstream to go do its job. Simple. Now try that same journey with a biologic. It's a total disaster. Those big, delicate protein molecules are just no match for our digestive system. Your stomach would basically see it as lunch, breaking it down and digesting it like a piece of chicken. It gets completely destroyed before it even has a chance to get into your blood. So you've got this whole laundry list of problems. You can't swallow them, that's out. They're way too big to be absorbed easily. And get this, even if you inject them straight into your bloodstream, your own immune system might see this giant foreign protein and just attack it. On top of all that, they're not even very stable once they're in your blood. It's a real mess. So how on earth do you solve a problem like that? How do you get these miracle drugs to their target in one piece? Well, this is where the science gets really clever. Welcome to the world of smart drug delivery. To fix this delivery problem, scientists invented something called drug carriers. And the best way to think of them is like armored transport for your medicine. Their whole job is to protect the fragile drug, shield it from your body's defenses, and escort it safely all the way to its final destination. One brilliant approach is to use polymers, like something called PEG. You can literally attach these long polymer chains to the biologic drug, and it acts just like an invisibility cloak. It physically hides the drug from the immune system, basically telling it, nope, nothing to see here, move along. This lets the drug circulate in your body for way longer, giving it much more time to find what it's looking for. Another really clever strategy uses something called liposomes. These are basically microscopic bubbles made out of fat, the same stuff that makes up our own cell membranes. You load the drug inside the bubble, and it acts like a protective shell, carrying its precious cargo safely through the body until it bumps into its target and releases the medicine. But, okay, how do these carriers know where to go? Well, there are two main strategies. On one hand, you have passive targeting. This is genius because it just uses the body's own quirks. For example, tumors tend to have really leaky blood vessels, so if you make your drug carrier just the right size, it'll naturally leak out of the blood and build up right at the tumor site. But then, on the other hand, you have active targeting. This is even more precise. This is where you actually attach a homing device, like one of those monoclonal antibodies we just talked about, directly onto the carrier itself. It's like giving your armored car a GPS that takes it right to the front door of a specific cell. So, let's put it all together. What happens when you combine these incredibly powerful biologic drugs with these super clever, smart delivery systems? Well, what you get is the future of medicine. And this right here is why all of this matters so much. This is the ultimate goal, to create treatments that send a powerful medicine only to the cells that need it and leave all the healthy cells alone. This means you can create therapies that are way more effective while at the same time drastically cutting down on all those awful side effects that happen when medicine goes where it's not supposed to. And here you can see the whole shebang. You've got the carrier, you've got the drug payload attached to it, and you've got the homing device to find the target. A perfect real-world example of this is a drug called Kadcyla. It's what's called an antibody-drug conjugate. It literally links the cancer-seeking antibody, Herceptin, directly to a powerful chemotherapy drug. It's a smart bomb that delivers its toxic payload directly to breast cancer cells and only to breast cancer cells. Which leaves us with one final, pretty powerful thought. We all know that traditional chemotherapy attacks any cell that grows fast, which is why it causes devastating side effects like nausea and hair loss. So, what happens to those side effects when we can deliver a drug that only targets the cancer? What does that mean for the experience of being treated? It points to a future where medicine isn't just more powerful, but maybe, just maybe, a little bit kinder too.